and I don't like wasting neither of them. Yes, Miss J, I know we on the Spot Brooklyn. For some reason, Instagram is doing that. I'm broadcasting directly through SHU, but it's wiring through my Spot Brooklyn page. I don't know why it's doing that. But we're not gonna let that interrupt the set. We're not gonna let that interrupt the set. Like I said earlier, we have Darnel Alexander here. And the brother, I dubbed him because I was listening to I was actually rocking out to his music because he was putting me into the field. But I dubbed the brother the pure sound of R&B. And with that, and without further ado, let's bring the brother on the set here, live and direct. How you doing today, my brother?
Man, I'm doing good. Can you hear me clearly?
I hear you clearly, and please let me get a thumbs up for everybody that's there listening clearly, please. Yes, my brother. First and foremost,
There's a little echo delay, but I'm a work around that.
oh yeah, hold on.
You know, we're entertainers, man. You know, we can deal with
You gotta work. Hold on. Let me just see something real quick because I refuse to have that going on, my brother. I refuse to have that going on. Let's work this out for you. Give me 1 second, and all right, let's try this.
Yeah, because I could hear it when the music's playing. It'll echo back.
All right, how's that now?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, let's do it.
There we go. There we go. So we got everything straight. I refuse to interrupt this session and it's discussing with you, my brother. I would like to go right into it, and I would like to set the tone. I want you to take me back to that I would say 5 or 6 year old, when there's music just playing through your house and your mother just lively up the energy. Take me back to that moment of what music, meant to you, even the known and unknown. But at that very moment, like, how was that influential to you at that time?
Let me tell you, my first memory of music, I had to be around that 5 to 7 year old age, and I'll never forget it. We were at my cousin's house listening to Stevie Wonder. And Stevie, this is like, I want to say like early 80s. And Stevie, came out with, I don't even know what record it was, but very, very 70s Stevie.
Okay.
You know, crazy stuff. Stevie and Marvin Gaye back then. And
classic.
I just knew the music was a vibe. It was something that was above anything that I know musically. And so I didn't really start getting into the musical feeling until I was like probably that grade school age, like that 10, 11, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's when, when I can remember my first memory of mom playing music all the time. As soon as we woke up, before she went to work, before we went to school, come back from school, parties on the weekend. And that was the era of LTD, Heat Wave, James Taylor,
Okay.
all the cats, because my stepdad, he was into blues, and my mom was straight R&B, Cheryl Lynn, Luther Vandross, Peebo Bryson. As soon as a good song came on, they start screaming. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what happened?
What's going on? What's this?
It's the voice, and it was their voices, and it was just their voices, the delivery, and the way they sang. And something about that stuck with me. I had no idea I was going to be a singer back then, but I knew something about it was very attractive, very exciting.
You were a very shy individual growing up.
Man,
how did someone see this energy get provoked and feel it still being shy and getting I don't want to say out of it, but working through it?
That's the crazy thing, because there's a lot of people out there who can sing really good, and they'll either decide that they just want to be in the background, or if they do come out, you can tell they're really shy. And when I would sing, I would let all that go. At first when I started singing, I was like old school Luther. I wouldn't move. I would just sing that song and kill it, and then get off stage. And then as the early 90s came out, and you had Johnny.
Your mic went out. Your mic went out, if you can hear me. Oh man, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. But that New Jack era came on, and you had to move.
that's true. That's true. You couldn't hide. You couldn't hide, right?
Yeah.
Now, now, once you got into that feel of the music and the Shy Kid, I know you did a lot of performances and also singing on the phone to the ladies as a kid. I did did some homework on you, and I was enjoying that. But when was it that moment that you said, this is something that I'm good at. Like I think I wanna give it some energy. I wanna pursue it further.
All right. I hope you can hear me clearly. It sounds like we got the robots in here, but
Oh man, really?
yeah. But if you can hear me clear, that's good. So uh, when I when I started doing talent shows in high school, that's when I started getting the itch. And then when I was after high school, I started singing in nightclubs, and something about the music from Key Sweat, Babyface, I'll Be Sure, Christopher Williams, Johnny Gill, all of that movement, that New Jack movement, it seemed like if you could sing, you had to sing. You had to get out there and show people what you could do.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now is there? I'm sorry. Is there echo when you hear me?
I can hear you. It just sounds like the robots are in town.
Oh man, okay, okay. Sorry about that. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with technology today, but it's making us work. It's making us work. Now you was part of a group early, like I think it was the third level was the first group that you was a part of. How was that experience that introduced you further into your life, starting at that point?
Third Level was dope because it was they found me at a talent show and
Oh,
literally was like, "We're putting you in the studio. We're gonna go and make some hits. We're gonna do something significant." It was one guy was a producer, Derek Clark, Anthony Tibbs and Aaron Allen. They were the writers and producers as well, and we all got together and started writing songs. And um, we were fortunate enough to have a couple of tracks put on Sir Mix-a-Lot's "Seattle: The Dark Side."
that's correct.
The experience for me was great because that was my introduction into the music business, good, bad, ugly, how it works. Um, and then from there, I moved on to Second Nature to have some real success as far as touring, getting out on the road, and really seeing what's going on out there.
That's right. And you also had the Can You Show Me hit the top 100, Hot 100 as well
Yeah.
at that time. Now, charting at any level or any spot of career or moment, it lets us, it's kind of like a confirmation a little bit. Like we have a pride in that. Did that affect you anyway? Like, especially at a younger age, having something chart? How did you approach like doing music at that time?
I was still a shy kid back then, even in the mid '90s. So it was good for me to have those guys around because you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Get up there, and we'll perform and do shows. And I had a buffer with those guys, so I didn't have to take on the limelight and take on the responsibility of responding to fans and all of that.
Right. Nice, nice, nice. Now, transitioning from Second Nature, finding where you are as an individual, was there ever that moment that whether it's the business or the way things were working that you ever doubted like or hit that mark like I don't know if I want to do this. And if you did, what got you out of that?
Let me see. Let's see if you can fix the sound because it's like
Oh
I don't want
man.
people to hear it back and be like, "Oh man, you guys are." Is anybody on the chat? Can they tell you if they can hear it clear?
So they say they can hear it clear, but if it's interrupting you, how about we try this
Look,
one more
if they
time?
can hear it clear, let's roll with it
Just all
because I
right.
can hear you.
Yeah. They said they hear it clear.
But
They said they hear it clear,
okay,
but I don't want it to, if it's interfering with you, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
yeah, yeah. You don't. We don't want to mess it up if it's good.
Oh, gotcha. They say we hit.
But
They,
like coming from Second Nature and then going solo, there was a long period of time before I popped out. Just like a couple of years ago. But I really started getting serious about my own sound, my own music in 2009. and I
2009.
didn't go viral until 2022.
Now being in that stretch of time, how did most
Yeah,
people,
or
especially
24, because it was like 2024, so a couple years ago.
couple years. So now a lot of artists, they don't see anything in a year. They be like, yo, I'm done with this. This is not working. But what kept that going for you?
I just love music. First of all, I love to create sounds. I love to create music. So regardless if I had like 5 fans or 100,000, I knew I was just going to keep making music and releasing it.
Plain and simple.
I
The
was getting
love.
pretty heavy into licensing, so it's like, I don't care if I'm on the radio. You can watch Anthony Bourdain or Bad Grandpa and hear my song, or Love After Lockup and hear me on that stuff. And you just never know who you're listening to. But there are different ways for artists to get out there, get their sound heard, especially through licensing and having your song pop up on a show.
Now that's most
But
definitely true.
to be like an artist and be like, oh, I want people to know who I am in the whole world. These days is like you either got to go viral or they got to, you got to get a hit song on the radio. But even to do that, you need major backing.
Yes.
So today is like, man, you just got to do everything and make sure you keep yourself grounded, do what you love, and then let God do what he's got to do and see if he's going to put you where you're supposed to be.
You hit that order in nice form, and you also said something about in these days. And speaking of R&B of these days, what do you feel like is missing from the concept of what we know R&B to be?
Yeah, I mean, when we watched Versus, I think we kind of got an idea. With Joe and Darnel, Joe is my dude, and the way that he sings is so passionate and so R&B. When they first came out, I never heard anybody sing like that before. Another person who I'm inspired by. But what I think what's missing today is, like you said, it's the feel. Because a lot of folks can sing. A lot of folks got voices. They got songs out. But the real trick is making people feel something inside. Like, not only like Bob the Head is a good song, but make you feel emotionally connected to their voice and their words.
Yeah, that is, and that's one thing that you most definitely have. You capture a feel. You capture like whatever it is you're relaying. You feel it in your vocal tone. Now, was that something you developed as time went, or you always had that and nurtured it?
It's really interesting that you asked that question. I did nurture it because I think I really started to get in touch with my tone probably in 2017. And I realized that my voice was changing and getting a little bit more raspier, a little bit more feeling and emotion. So when I sing, I can actually inject more passion into the song. You remember when Teddy and Luther would sing certain parts of the song, their voice does a little something magical, and you're just like, I felt that. I felt what you were saying right there. Like I felt every word. When they like not singing loud or doing runs, but their tone said something.
Yeah.
Like I felt your pain. I felt your loneliness. I felt the loss that you just experienced with just that one line.
Now you most definitely do that because especially in R&B, like I mentioned, it's the relaying of the feel that takes us everywhere. Now, going aside, not aside from the music, but you mentioned business a lot, and I heard you speak on that. Was that something that you learned as you gradually went, or you were blessed to have those around you to help guide you in business? Because we know that's a very important aspect, especially in this day and age. I mean, every day and age of music, it was important. But the business side, how did you tap into and getting to understand that?
Well, I'll never forget my first experience, and one of my first recordings ever was with a good friend of mine named Marcel Sanders, and he gave me the book, This Business of Music. So way back as a teenager, I had a book in my hand to kind of help me get through the process of understanding that when you write a song, you got to copyright it. you got to register it with all the, with your PRO and if it's distributed, how that happens. It's a little bit different back in the day because people would take it for you and say, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But these days, you're responsible for every single aspect of it, because as independent artists, we're doing our publishing, we're doing our copywriting, we're doing every registration to where it needs to go to make sure that we get paid, even if it's pennies on the dollar.
Straight up. Straight up. And business is most definitely important. And we have the power of the business in our hand. Now, going back to you as an artist, you've graced the stage with some legends, and you maintain a great humbleness within that. Let's talk about those experiences and how, those moments were for you as an individual and an artist.
Let's go back to the third level. That was really crazy because I did a show with James Brown. I have zero memory of it. All I remember is seeing him walk up with that cape.
Wow.
And I was like, we're here with James Brown.
You got to see it.
Yeah, Mint Condition and Club Nouveau. That was all like early 92, 93. And then when I was with Second Nature, that's when I was a little bit more present, right? Never forget doing shows with like Patti LaBelle, and she had this rotating stage. And one of the guys in the group, they were going back and forth, him and Patti going back and forth, just run for run, note for note. I was like, man, this is crazy. But really some really cool experiences, because at that time when I was at Second Nature, we were doing conventions, rolling up on all kind of spots. A lot of humble artists out there that are very successful, and a few that aren't, but that's just goes with the territory, because everybody's handling the music business in their own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now
but for me, I think it's me as a person. I'm just grateful to be alive, to be able to have the opportunity. I don't get the big head just because somebody likes me. Somebody's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. My real goal is to be one of those significant people in the music industry that's giving people feelings, that's giving people memories. Because I'm like you, we were kicking it on the street. I said, bro, man, let's go back. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to that. Let's vibe out. And that's, bro, music just makes you feel good.
Yeah, music.
It's not all about all the glitz and the glam and all that. That stuff is not.
Yeah, it's the mood. Music is mood. That's what I always tell people. Music is mood. And when it comes to music, as humble as you are as an individual, what do you want people to remember of, you?
Probably my mom. Like, if I was to change and become someone else, I guarantee you she'd be the first one to be like, who are you? Because I don't know you. You don't ever want to hear that from your mama. So
you really don't. Shout out to Mother Love on that.
And that's enough for me. I've had my ups and downs in life and my challenges and struggles, but no matter what, I always try to stay centered, treat people how I want to be treated. I'm no better than the person next door. I just am choosing a path that has an appearance of a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, it is so much. It is so much, and the humbleness maintains and appreciates each step of that. We have a question in the chat, and the question is, and it's a topic that's been coming up a lot, and they're asking, how do you feel about AI and R&B? How do you feel about the AI creation of I'm gonna keep it on R&B. I was gonna say music, but R&B.
Yeah, I love it, because I've been seeing a lot going around. I saw the one with Dr. Dre, and there's all these different people that are having an opinion about it. But for someone like me, it's a great tool, because back in the day, if you didn't get a record deal, you weren't working with Teddy Riley, you weren't working with Babyface, Jimmy Jam, and DJ Khaled, all the producers, P. Diddy, all that. And so now I have the opportunity to play on the same playing field and get my voice heard if I can create something that will stand out just as good as some of the major hits out there.
I respect
And
it.
you know, I'm still creating it from a standpoint of I can still write songs. I sing my own vocals. I'm just using AI to help me create the sound that fits my voice and vibe.
There you go. The
And
tool.
a lot of times, man, I'll take the song and I'll say, this is what I created, but now I want a producer to put their hands on it and give it the real human feel so that you know somebody touched it.
That's right. That's right. We got a comment from, we have a shout out to Ivan in Russia. We have Russia in the check-in, and I guess he's responding to your comment of using AI, and he said, "With a voice like yours, you can use whatever you wish."
What do you say?
He said, "With a voice like yours, you could use whatever you wish."
Oh man,
and
thank
I
you.
and I respect that. I respect that. Now,
To be perfectly honest, it's just like all I've ever wanted to do was work with the biggest producers, because I know if they had their hands on me, they could take my voice and put it where it's supposed to be in the R&B world. So as independent artists, we got to work double time, 3 times as hard to get noticed and to get, on the radio waves. So my goal is to make a song so banging they can't deny it.
and you hit it on the nose. As an independent artist, you gotta work double, triple sometime to make sure it competes. There is a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of noise out there, and now as artists, we have to be content creators, and we have to make
Yeah,
things. And how do you feel about that on the creative side as being an artist?
it's crazy because I didn't think of myself as super creative until I had to become a content creator. So now it's like I have to create a vision of what I want to portray to people. And sometimes I'll use like AI folks in my promos, people.
Hmm.
Sometimes people think they're real. I'm like, I'm happy to tell you they're not, but this is my vision. Um, and it's just the world we live in today. You look at T-Pain.
Yes,
Everybody was pissed off. They're like, "Oh, you're using auto tune, blah blah blah." The boy can sing.
he can sing.
So, what we're all doing is we're using tools available to us to help propel our careers to where we can see and know it's supposed to be, regardless of what anyone else says. So, you can't tell that man nothing, right?
It's true.
And the same with the producers. And the funny thing is, a lot of the big producers are coming out saying, "Yeah, I've been using AI for a minute," probably before even people even knew what AI was.
That's true. There's many different levels of the concept of artificial intelligence of that we've been all using, but the topic now is just so hot. It's so hot, and I really like your
Yeah.
perspective of how you go about using it as well as where it stands. Now you are a performer, and I reason why I say you are a performer in this day and age. We have a lot of recording artists. They record, they make their music, they put it out, and they just hope it does what it does. But you hit
Right.
you hit the stage. How important is that for an artist in your perspective, and how important it was for you in your career?
Well, this is the big catch: is if you're afraid of AI, just get your butt on stage. That'll tell everybody what you can really do. Uh, I'm not gonna, spill all the beans, because there's little tricks that a lot of the current artists use to maintain the auto tune sound on stage and things like that. But that's what people want to hear for that genre of music. But
Yeah,
for the real singers like Charlie Wilson, Eric Benet, um, and singers like that, it's the best thing ever to get up there and deliver a song in person, and people are like, "Man, that sounded like the record." Because that was my experience when I saw Luther Vandross. I was like, "You sound better than the record." I can put that on repeat all day and all night.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so my goal is to deliver something to people different than what they see on social media. They get the 3D, they get the in person, but they also get a chance to feel my personality outside of what they see on social media. But mostly I just like to just sing songs like we used to watch people on TV back in the day when it wasn't social media. It was just you had to turn the TV on to see your favorite singers.
Yeah, that is so true. And you had to wait the next week if you missed it. It wasn't on demand for you. We got a question in the chat, and they asked, "Have you ever met Teddy?" They want to know if you ever met Teddy Riley.
I have not met him, but he's definitely my top three of people I've always wanted to work with. When New Jack came out, I was singing everything that he did. Aaron Hall, the stuff he did for God, it's like Guy, Blackstreet, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just like the beats, but the singing and the beats together. I mean, the combination of magic that he made with that whole New Jack era was. I just wanted to be a part of it. So
It was most definitely a moment that shook the world. It shook the world took the world by feel and movement, because you most definitely was moving for that one right there.
And I'm a person that I'm all about some beats. Like I can sing like a crooner, but I prefer to do that over some tight beats, which is why I did the If Only for a Night on that Trap Soul.
Nice. Now you recently just dropped that.
Yeah, man. I was like, you know what? At my stage in this career, and my age in life, I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm not going to be following no what do you call it? No patterns or no fads. I just want to just do what I think is super dope and see what people feel. See how people feel about it.
That's in true artists, when you paint and then you hang it up and just see how people feel. Like you want to express, just put it out and let people who like it get it. Who don't, you could just keep on moving. And that's the beautiful.
Like Salt and Pepper said, express yourself.
That's right. Now, with you expressing yourself, if you had to say in one sentence what you mean, or what music means to you, either way, what would that one sentence be to you?
Music is life, and life is living through vibrations, and music is that.
My man, I gotta you can't say it any better than that. Music is life, and what better thing in the world than life, right? Now,
can you imagine not having music?
Oh no, I don't even want to. I don't. Let's not. Let's not. What's next for you? Like, what do you got cooking up? What's going on? Because you are a busy man. You are a very busy man. And
I'm over here like this. Man. I got another song just waiting to be recorded. Between you and I and the people listening, preparing folks for cuffing season.
Okay. Get ready,
so
y'all.
We're gonna bring the slow jams to a whole nother dimension. I really want to, like you said, give people the textures of my voice. But we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into like the trap soul R&B genre, but with real singing.
I love that. Speaking of real singing, I want to share with you when I was just looking over content of you and just wanted to take in, just have. I really love conversation based. Like, none of my questions are lined up. It's really conversation based. But I love to like get into the world of the individual. And there was a few times people mentioned like, oh, does it bother you that you sound like so and so, or that you can capture so and so? And I want to share to you, hearing you, that's not what I got from it. What I got from it was the appreciation of a sound, like the appreciation, the authenticity of how the sound was. And I just wanted to share that with you. Like, you really capture, like, it was almost like a master class of like culture being passed through your vocal tones. So I want to thank you for that. Like, listening to that really captured that. But does that bother you anyway when people kind of just chalk it up to you sound like so and so?
Especially in our culture, people either say they want to say you look like someone or sound like someone.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it. And it doesn't really bother me. I think it's a blessing to be compared to the great Luther Vandross, because no one can No one can duplicate that.
That's real.
There's a lot of guys out there doing Luther tributes. I've befriended them on Facebook. I'm listening to what they do, and I respect everybody's hustle. And when I came out with If Only for a Night, that was me saying, I'm here to let y'all know I'm a real singer. I'm an independent artist who is Luther inspired.
Bam. In your face. And I could sing if y'all want to battle. No, let me not start now. let me not start.
You know,
now.
I could do a little bit of Tebow and Teddy Pendergrass and all that, but you know, my whole sound is a combination of all of those textures that I grew up with.
Most definitely, and those are amazing textures to not only grow up with, but be able to capture and represent, especially for the culture of music. Now, normally in this show we ask, you know, just whatever comes, but there's only one question that's guaranteed to be asked every show, and that question is, if you could look back at the younger Darnel Alexander and tell yourself anything, what would that be and why?
Oh my gosh, man. You know, because it's always the hindsight. But I would look back and tell myself and say, you know, you're great already. You need to trust yourself, believe in yourself. And, you know, like if I was like I don't know, like a father or a mentor, you know what I mean? Like I'd just be like, don't listen to anything negative that you hear. If it feels good to you and it feels good in your heart and your soul, then you need to live that.
That's powerful. If it feels good in your heart and your soul, live that. Regardless of what. That's most definitely advice for anyone listening right now. Please take that with you. Take that with you, because as simple as that may sound, is just as complex as it can be. Because that was very...
It is, because people are going to put you down. They're going to pull you dow. They're going to tell you, no, you're not good enough. No, you know, you should be doing something else. Don't quit your day job. You know, but you have to remember, a lot of the negativity is coming from insecurity from other people, and they project it on you. And so you have to be prepared to have your armor up against all of the negativity, the evil, and the people who don't know what to do with your special gift.
That's right. Now, how do you deflect, if it comes your way? How do you deflect that and keep going? Because it could be a lot. Like, people will just hate and, as they say, troll for no apparent reason. Like it's a career for some people. How do you maintain through that?
Oh, we know all too well it's a career. Because when I went viral on TikTok, I was like, y'all don't even know me. Like, see me in the streets, please.
Did it?
It took me a minute till I figure out what it really is, right? And it's not me, it's them. And keep rolling, because if they are paying that close of attention, you must be doing something right.
That is right. That is right. I always heard the phrase, if you don't get some type of hate, you're not doing something right. I don't know if I believe it to its full, but I get the concept and the meaning of when they say that, when you're doing something and their eyes on you. So you're most definitely doing something. For those that are interested,
think about Prince and Michael Jackson and all the biggest stars out there. They had to endure some major adversity because people did not know how to handle them.
That's right. They sure did. And
it came out later. They were telling their stories. They were like, yo, this is what I really went through, and this is what happened. But you know what? I'm gonna still keep doing me. And they just kept going forward, and now they have a legacy.
And this was before the craze of social media, and they were on a world stage taking this ridicule from all over
in your face.
Yes. And anybody, I don't care who we are, that can take a toll on our mental health. That could take a toll on how we think. How do you, as an artist, keep your mental and your physical? I know you.
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question. I work on my mental health, and I take it seriously, because in life, you see a lot going on. You see your friends, you see your family, you see people going through things. And it's really hard to watch people repeat the patterns over and over and not try to figure out a way out of it, a way out of the bad patterns, a way out of the bad behaviors, and the getting in your own way, right? And I work really hard to maintain some moments of quiet and interact with people who want to see you succeed and want to see you shine. And if you have friends or even people that you associate with that don't see you, I don't really see them that much, but I'm still cool with them. You see what I'm saying? So I take it very seriously to guard the energy around me. So even if the circle is just me, that's okay.
That's okay.
You know.
That's okay. No, I love it. I love it. I wanna take that, like what you just said. I wanna take this time right now just to transition into, in this day and age, we know everyone gets their flowers. That's the big conversation of this day. Everyone getting the flowers. But here on MJMG presents by SHU Radio, we don't give out flowers, we give out honor. Because flowers do die, but honor lasts forever. And I want to take this time to give you your honor. Within your journey, we know there's the ups and downs, the hardships that we face, the scars and the mud that we carry through our journeys, and we keep going. And you carry on continuously well, not only well, but with a grace that many people could take an example from. And as you continue in your journey sharing, you grab with you the cultures, the representation, and the honor of everything before you. And you continue in the steps, bringing the past into the future. And as you leave and carry on each step into the future, you are leaving your imprint for those to carry on after you to remain and do the same with same grace. So with that being said, I want to give you your honor live here on the show, my brother. And I also must say, for everybody watching, this man right here is going through the most technical work, and he is working with it, y'all. I could tell by the pauses. He is still controlling and maintaining a professionalism, and that is a true example of what we have to face in society, y'all. Especially as musicians, we will come across roadblocks, things that will stop us, from sound to getting on, to all different types of technical difficulties and people. But you have to maintain your grace. And like he says, you got to create that. If you are okay, if you are right, everything else will be right around you. So I want to thank you for working with everything that we got going on today. It was a really tough one. I'm a little hurt. I'm a little hurt and disappointed because I wanted a smoother transition. But thank you for making it even smoother, because you was able to work around that, my brother. I want to thank you for that. Deeply, deeply, deeply thank you for that.
And, that's what we need. That Black excellence is a real thing. I'm doing a show this weekend at Martha's Vineyard, and that was truly my first opportunity to see us in an environment where there was no hesitation, or what I want to say, where you feel like you got to be head on swivel, watching your back. All of our people together in mass numbers, no chaos, nothing but love, unity. Literally felt like we were in Wakanda, some other world, man. So if folks listening haven't been to Martha's Vineyard, make sure you make that trek. August is the month. It's really good for us to see that, because I'm trying to live it as an individual, and represent for our folks out in public. But to see it on a mass scale, that's what we need to have people see.
That is true. That is true. If you guys are out, please most definitely get in those environments, man. And is there anything else or where people could come and check you? If you got any other shows, anything you working on, please put that on blast right now, because I want the people to know.
Well, I do most of my posts and updates on Facebook and Instagram. So on Facebook, it's just Darnel Alexander. I do have a page, Darnel Alexander Music. Darnel with one L. If you get somebody that's reaching out to you asking you for something, it's not me as a scammer. I guess you could say I've made it because these scammers have been on me for like 2 years now.
They trying to get a piece.
Um, but yeah, that's really where I do everything. And then TikTok a little bit, they don't let me like really have the freedom there. And because I got 2 little girls and working a full-time job and music and everything else, trying to stay in shape, I can't get on there and do lives like I want to. But the future holds some good stuff coming. So
That's right. That's right. Now you mentioned, and I usually stray. I don't want to say I stray away from asking any of this. I usually center directly to the individual, but you mentioned being a father, right? And before we let you go, I would like to ask you, how has being a father impacted you as a human being? I'm a dad, girl of 3. I got 3 girls, man. So
man, you already know.
I'm over here enjoy already asking the question from you,
brother,
I would love you.
So I got 2 little girls, and this is the order of my life and my world. And when I wake up, it's about them, and then I can handle everything else after that. They have changed my life so dramatically. Like, even when I'm out and about in public, I look at how people move, and I'm always saying to myself, if you only knew the value of time, right? Because I spent a lot of time with them and then still trying to do everything I can to provide for them.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot of people like they waste time. They don't really respect the value of time until something, major happens or something like that. But they've taught me that number one, time is unfortunately limited. And I'm just trying to be as present as I can possibly be every moment I get with them, or even if I'm not with them, I'm FaceTiming them, You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
For us real fathers out there who are present dads in their kids' lives, you know what I mean? If you know. And I mean, it's really about the blessing of having God for me, because I had kids late in life. I didn't think I could ever have them. Never met women who wanted kids. And it was like 55, 56. So I'll be 57 this year. And I had my first one, a few years ago. So she's 3, and I got a 1.5-year-old.
They grow fast.
The biggest blessing I've ever had in my life. I wake up, I don't even care how tired I am. I don't care what I got to do. All I got to do is see those faces and hear those voices, and I'm like, let's go.
That's right. I dig it. I dig it completely. That's a blessing.
Yeah, I know you know.
But yeah, they and now they have age where they telling me how to dress. So it's we enter the whole new. Yeah, they telling me, no, you can't wear that, Dad. You gotta switch that up. But
you gotta love that, man, because they keep you looking fly. You know what I mean?
That's right. They keep you young. They keep you young,
crazy out here,
and connected. Keep you young and connected. Before I let you go, I wanna open up the floor to you. If there's anything you want to say, share, put on blast, or just shout at anybody. The floor. I want to give you the floor, my brother.
So first of all, if you're listening, if you haven't downloaded or streamed my song, If Only for One Night, it's a cover. It's a real song. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just another one of his videos that he does on social media. But I'm like, no, you can actually go out to iTunes, Spotify, all the streaming platforms, and listen, and YouTube as well. Also, stay tuned for performances coming up in the future. We got Martha's Vineyard on the 30th, and London in December 5th at the Comedy Store, and some more stuff coming. So things pop up, and I just try to keep people informed of what's going on. But I'm really grateful to have an audience. You know what I mean, man? So for people to come on here and listen to us talk about music, life, and we're all out here just trying to share experiences together and appreciate each other in what we do. So I'm grateful for you having me on, and it's a blessing.
Thank you for the gems you shared, the humbleness as well as the journey, because it's very inspirational. So I want to thank you for that, and thank you for your time. I started the show saying time is money, and I don't like wasting neither. So I appreciate, like you mentioned, if people understood time, and how important that is. So I'm real grateful for you sharing your times. And for those that rocked out on Instagram, as well as the MJMG Presents app, Bushwick Radio, Apple TV, Google TV, TikTok, and everywhere else we brought to this to you by. But I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Hopefully in the future we could have you come up and share some of the new stuff of the journey, and we get this sound right. we get everything
Yo,
correct.
man, you got my info, man, so just hit me up anytime.
I respect that. Thank you, my brother. And you have a good night.
Sitting here talking about music for hours.
That's right. That's right. You have a good night and be blessed.
You too.
All right. Shout out to everybody that was on right now. That was Darnel Alexander. Now, before you go anywhere, I'm going to give you the final word. I want to send a big shout out to Ron Lefford. He helped set this situation up. Shout out to MJMG Presents. We're going to go into that song, Only for One Night. It's the official video. It's on his Instagram. He's on his YouTube, but it's shot in vertical. So I just want to give everybody the warning on the vertical shot. Don't think like, hey, Spud, the video is small, I can't see it. But if you didn't get anything from today, and there's a lot of things to get from today, one of the things you could take from today is a lot of the things that people may look at and have conversation based about the don'ts or the dislikes and the things that they don't want to do could be the very tool you can add to your toolbox. Now, it's a tool. When you have a tool, it's something you utilize, not just used. And with the tool, you want to use it, and once the job is done, you put it back in your toolbox so you can always go back to it. And that action of putting it back in a place where you can always go back to it is appreciation. And appreciation, using things and putting it back, whether it's your voice, whether it's sound, whether it's the essence of communication, whatever it is you're using, take that time to have the appreciation to put it back. And now putting it back doesn't mean just I use it and I'm done with it. Because usually when we use something and we're done with it, we don't have the appreciation to ever go back to it. And the tool will be missed. And when you miss out on those opportunities, you actually miss the true value of who you are. The second thing you could get from today, and I want to send a big shout out to Darnel Alexander. I, as an audio engineer, know he was going through a time of, I don't want to say of his life, but the audio and the sound was horrible. I could tell from the pauses. I could tell, and I was trying to match it so there wasn't no dead air for the people. And there was a moment where I came so close to say, let's start this over. And you know what he said? He said, if everything is good for them, I'm going to work with it. Now, some people may chalk that up as a professionalism. That's not just professionalism. That's a person who's so passionate that want to get it out where if it's good enough for you, I'll work with it. There's so many people who won't work what's good for those around them or to get what's good out that they'll be like, nah, this ain't working for me. Nah, I don't like it. Yo, Spud, I can't hear you. Spud, you sound like a robot. Let's end it. He said, nah, if it works for everybody and it's good, let's keep it going. Sometimes we got to be selfless and take ourselves away from our own appreciations, our own perspectives, our own intentions. And sometimes what we're giving is the power to others that make us lively, that make us breathe. So don't get always lost in, man, I don't like it. Sometimes what you're doing is what the next person might need to hear. The person might need to feel. The person might need you or see you experience it for them to grow. So don't always get lost in you. Make sure you can get the word out to others. I want to send a big shout out to everybody. Shout out to my man Darnel again. I can't tell y'all how upset. I don't want to use the word upset. How, I'm big on professionalism and an experience. And I know he was going through a challenge and it was bothering me so much. But even the show is on the wrong TikTok, Instagram channel. I don't know why that happened. So it's just one of those days. I will say this before we go into the song and close the night. Technology works until it doesn't, right? Technology works until it doesn't. But what we got to do as individuals is keep going. Work through what we can and get to the other side. And then what you do when you can't when you can't get it to work right, figure out what you could do next time to prevent it from occurring again. All right, let's close the night out. This is only for one night. This is the official video. Y'all have a good night. Shout out to everybody that's on MJMG Presents, as well as Bushwick Radio 360 Live. Shout out to TikTok, and shout out to the lovely people on Instagram. Let's check this out. Y'all have a good night and keep safe. Let's check this out, y'all.
He's been taking social media by storm.
That is not Luther Vandross, y'all. You probably noticed that I've been teasing this for the past few days. That is one Darnel Alexander.
All over social media. I close my eyes and I hear Luther.
Oh, no, sorry. What's your name, sir?
Darnel.
We hear Darnel Alexander. Have I got your attention? Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.